So okay, we back. My live quit, so we're gonna start over. Bank for International Settlements, BIS. Who is BIS? Let's go read again about them. They just shut my other live down. I don't know how they do that, but check it out. The BIS supports central banks. The BIS supports central banks in their pursuit now of monetary and financial stability through international corporation, and it serves as a bank for central banks. It serves as a bank for central banks, offering them sound and competitive financial service. So this Bank of International Settlements is a bank for the rest of the banks. All of the banks got to look up to this bank. The BIS provides central banks with a forum for a dialogue and international cooperation, a platform for responsible innovation and knowledge sharing, as well as a high-in-depth analysis and insights on policy issues. Established in 1930, and remember, the Federal Reserve and all them, they was established in 1913. The BIS is the world's oldest international financial institution. It is owned by 63 central banks representing countries from around the world that together account for about 95% of the world GDP. Its head office is in Basel, Switzerland, or Basel, whatever it is. And it has two representative offices in Hong Kong, SAR, and in Mexico City, as well as innovation hub centered around the world. And see, they've been on YouTube since 2013. And let me show you these videos that they've been doing recently. Targeting inflation, media briefing, pressure signals, collaboration, green swan, central bank's role in climate change. And they got session 3, climate change, supply shocks, and monetary policy. Transition and planning by corporations. Transition and adaptation in the real economy. Shaping the future of cross-border payments compliance. The future of finance. Now that's the video y'all need to go watch. I watched that video, 25 minutes, and it's some stuff in that video, y'all. That's why a lot of my information be coming from hearing what they talking about. Now go look it up and go down the rabbit hole. You can just go look up all this shifting landscapes for insurers. The carry trade unwind. All this stuff though, look at this. Artificial intelligence and the economy. Implication for central banks. Check them out.
In Chapter 3, we discuss the impact of AI on the financial sector and the real economy, and lay out the implications for central banks. Let me start by putting the technology into a broader context. The technology behind AI can be traced back to the early days of computing itself, but it was with the advent of deep learning.
This all AI is, a computing system. That's all it is. But they tell you it's something in the sky. Is
based on the combination of massive amounts of data and computing power that set the stage for today's AI applications. Today's machine learning models excel at imposing mathematical structure on unstructured data, so that the massive computing power of the latest hardware can be unleashed to identify patterns of interest. Perhaps the best known example of imposing mathematical structure on unstructured data is the embedding of words in a vector space, so that words become arrays of numbers. The vectors preserve meaning in that similar words are closer together in the vector space. So you see in this slide that the word...
I saw a video just the other day. It was this guy that just made me thought of that when it said the words become arrays of numbers. The guy had like a beam that you find, a laser beam, and he made it as a cross, right, on the wall. And they looked at it, and it was nothing but a set of numbers. Like, you know how like the matrix numbers, how they got the numbers going down fast and all them levels. That's how it is.
Turtle, in red, is close to words such as hawk and alligator, but far from words that indicate sports, monsoon, etc. The latest models take this one step further. Thanks to the so-called transformer architecture, they take account of the surrounding context in the embedding of a word, rather than just having one embedding for each word. Think of the word bond. This word could refer to a fixed income security, a connection or link, as in a family bond, cultural bond, etc., or 007, James Bond. And depending on the context, the vector embedding for the word bond will be different. And you see that example here on this slide. It could lie geometrically close to words such as treasury or yield, or to words such as... This ability to take account of context means that the transformer-based large language models are suitable for use cases beyond textual analysis. For instance, central bank applications such as nowcasting and financial monitoring are amenable to large language models. Just as LLMs are good at guessing the next word in a sentence given the overall context, they have a broad context of what else is happening in the economy. After all, words are just vectors to large language models. GDP or inflation nowcasting is simply a matter of changing which vectors get processed by the LLM. I will have more to say about this shortly when we look at the central bank use cases of AI. Previous expert systems were tailor-made for specific applications. They needed skilled operators to develop and refine a system that made headlines in 2016 by beating the world champion.
That's what I want to show y'all right there, just a little bit. They stopped at 2017, right, where it say Transformers.